I live with my grandma. We'll go to the house on like a weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house. They'll come get me from my grandma's house. And right after we done, when them cameras go off, I'm right back to my grandma's house. Yep.
I gotta say something about this, bro. Dwayne Wade, you going too fucking far, dog. That is a male.
Yeah.
Hey. I need that at the Dwayne.
I was talking good, yo. Maybe they want to go on tour.
But I'm not really
Tell me. It been 20 years, bro. It been 20 years. I figure if I wasn't built like that, it'll show by now. It been 20 years, bro. I done faced every challenge motherfucker that like to throw at me, man. You ain't seen me fold, you ain't seen me break down.
King Harris is back making noise again. This time the drama is even wilder than his usual mess. Forget about the Waffle House brawls or skipping out on court dates, because his own baby mama just sent the internet into a frenzy after allegedly leaking what people online are calling a gay tape of King. And if that bomb wasn't enough, Boosie decided to jump into the chaos, throwing shade straight at T.I. for how he raised his son. Now, whether that tape is legit or completely fake doesn't even matter right now, because the internet has already decided to run with it. For years, rumors about King's sexuality have been floating around, people clowning him, saying he looked a little fruity, or claiming his baby was just a front. This so-called leak is now pouring gas on all those theories, and the online detectives are having a field day. But here's where it takes a nastier turn. Fans are digging up every old rumor they can find. The whispers about King maybe not even being the real father of his baby. The talk that his baby mama only got pregnant to secure the bag. The claims he's been out here cosplaying a gangster lifestyle that he never really lived. And Boosie stepping into the mix makes it 10 times messier. Instead of roasting King directly, he fired his shots at T.I., which makes this more than gossip. It's shaping up into a straight-up feud between families. Before this so-called tape even hit the blogs, King was already dealing with paternity drama. From the moment his baby mama announced she was pregnant, the internet wasn't buying it.
But I'm not really
The biggest thing people kept saying, she's older than him. And that alone had social media calling her out, saying, girl, you knew exactly what you were doing.
Hey. I need that at the Dwayne.
But just more fuel for the skeptics who are convinced the whole situation is nothing but a storyline. Then came the money drama, because the internet swore up and down that King's baby mama only got pregnant to secure the bag. People were saying she saw the Harris name, the fame, the money, and decided to cash out with a baby. And whether it was true or not didn't matter one bit, because the comments kept rolling in nonstop. And when the baby was finally born, instead of calming things down, the rumors went into overdrive. People were blasting online, he doesn't even look like King, while others were convinced King was just desperate to flex some grown man status. That's when King hopped on live, calling the baby his twin and saying he looks exactly like him.
Yeah. King in here.
Yes, yo, that's my baby. That's my baby. Get it?
He even doubled down by posting pictures, writing, "Y'all can't tell me this ain't mine." But here's the twist. The more King tried to convince people, the less they believed him. And it wasn't only about the baby. For years, whispers about King's sexuality have followed him around. So when the pregnancy news hit, plenty of fans instantly thought, he's just trying to prove something. And now with this so-called tape floating around, those same critics are waving their receipts like, see, this was the plan from day one. Use a baby to shut down the rumors. That's when the whole conversation took a wild turn. Because while folks were clowning King over the paternity drama, others pointed out how this wasn't his first time being accused of putting on a show. Fans have been saying for years that King's been cosplaying a gangster lifestyle. He talks tough, jumps into beefs, and acts like he's straight out the trenches. But then people remind everybody, this is T.I. and Tiny's son. He grew up with money, privilege, and spent most of his childhood living comfortably at his grandma's house. Nothing wrong with that at all, but it doesn't exactly scream, I came up from the struggle. And to top it off, King himself has even admitted it, in his own words, talking about how he used to live at his grandma's place.
I live with my grandma. You know, we'll go to the house on like a weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house. They'll come get me from my grandma's house. And right after we done, when the cameras go off, I'm right back to my grandma's house. Yeah.
And that's exactly why so many people just don't buy into King's tough talk. Every time he hops online yelling about being from the hood, the comments flood in with be serious and clown emojis. Folks swear he's been forcing this whole street persona just to cover up the fact that deep down, he doesn't really fit that role at all. It's like King is fighting two battles at the same time, trying to prove he's a father and a man, while also trying to convince everyone he's this hardened gangster. But instead of making him look strong, it just makes his downward spiral look even worse. And that spiral, it only got louder once those infamous Waffle House clips went viral. A video started circulating showing King going off on restaurant employees, loud, threatening, completely unhinged over some food.
Nigga, I ain't doing shit. So what I'm saying is, they wasn't.
You can talk like that outside.
Hey, I can talk how the fuck I want to wherever I'm at. I'm on live, Shawty. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. This ain't your fucking restaurant. This ain't your fucking restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
Stop talking to him, please.
Who the hell is he?
I'm working at work.
What's your name?
What's your name?
My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. File your shit.
Come back.
What? On game what? On game what? Come here. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. Come here. Come on.
People couldn't believe it. This was T.I. and Tiny's son, wilding out in public over fast food like he had nothing to lose. The craziest part? His own dad checked him the very next day. I went live, basically saying he couldn't understand why his son felt the need to argue with a short-order cook. He revealed that he and King's uncles had already tried to talk some sense into him, reminding him that he lives a life most people would dream of, with money, connections, and privilege. So why stoop down and pick fights with regular folks just doing their jobs?
Well, I mean, of course I spoke to my son. You know, me and his uncles. You know, we were perplexed by his necessity to go back and forth with the short order cook. I didn't understand why he felt he needed to stop what he was doing to engage someone who is at such another level of life. Now, I had to explain to him that, you know, when people are not living the way they hope they would live, and here you is walking in with so much freedom and luxury, and you know, people gonna posture themselves a certain way. So therefore, you're gonna have to enjoy your life. You're gonna have to remove yourself from that energy and go enjoy your life.
But clearly that wisdom went in one ear and out the other, because King kept spiraling, his name kept popping up in blogs, and the biggest scandal yet hit when his arrest footage dropped online. The video showed what really went down in 2024 when he got pulled over in Georgia. According to police, King almost crashed into a squad car while leaving a gas station. Officers said they immediately smelled weed coming from his BMW, and to make it worse, he had a gun strapped to his hip, and when they ran his info, turns out he had a warrant sitting on his record all the way back from 2022. That case wasn't just some small ticket. It was tied to speeding, driving on a suspended license, and even a DUI. King was supposed to show up in court but straight up skipped, which is exactly why that warrant had been hanging over his head for so long. So when the cops pulled him over in 2024, the footage showed them yanking him out, cuffing him on the spot, and hauling him straight down to county jail. And while King actually stayed surprisingly calm in the footage, the internet definitely didn't.
If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any of my questions or make any statements. So my question to you is, I found just a non-felony in that ashtray in the back, as well as in that basketball sleeve. So I'm gonna go over here and talk to these guys, and someone has to get charged with it. It's not feud?
No, I'm not talking.
You're not gonna talk to me? I gotcha. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't.
You need anything to go with you?
My phone.
Your phone? Where's your phone at?
In the car.
We're in the car.
You search you. See?
I'm not looking for phones, I'm looking for drugs and guns.
Ask me to know my phone.
What kind of phone is it?
What color is your phone?
It's a clear case.
To fans, this was nothing but more proof that his entire life was spiraling out of control. From the Waffle House blow-ups, to skipping court, to this arrest, people said it all looked like a desperate attempt to cover up those deeper rumors he could never outrun. But here's where it really exploded. Because as soon as this so-called tape started making its way around, guess who decided to jump in? Boosie? Yep. Instead of minding his own business, he allegedly started throwing slick shade at T.I., clowning him about how his son ended up in such a mess. And the internet instantly caught it. This wasn't just Boosie poking fun at King, this was a direct shot at T.I. himself. And that's what makes this even crazier. Because Boosie isn't some neutral bystander. He's got a whole messy history of making headlines with his own comments about sexuality. This is the same man who had to publicly apologize to his own daughter, Ivlana, after making offensive remarks about her being gay. He went on Instagram, tried to walk it back, saying he was sorry, but everybody knew he meant what he said the first time. So when people saw him inserting himself into King's scandal, they were like, isn't this the pot calling the kettle black? Because how can Boosie clown somebody else's kid when his own family situation has been in the spotlight for years? And trust me, that's not the only layer here, because Boosie himself has been through plenty of public chaos, and his record is far from clean. And let's not forget, Boosie just took that plea deal on his own gun charges. If things go sideways, he could easily find himself back behind bars. So for him to be out here trolling T.I. right now, when he's got his own legal fire to deal with, tells you one thing: this isn't really about King, this is personal. And if you've been paying attention, T.I. and Boosie's relationship has been shaky for years. To really get why Boosie jumped into this drama, you've got to look at the timeline of their beef, and trust me, it explains a lot. It all started when Boosie made headlines blasting Dwayne Wade's daughter after she came out as transgender. That moment had the internet dragging him heavy for being transphobic.
I gotta say something about this, bro. Dwayne Wade, you gone too fucking far, dog. That is a male. A 12-year-old. At 12, they don't even know what their next meal gonna be. They don't have it figured out yet. He might meet a woman, anything, at 16 and fall in love with her. But it's be gone. How you gonna, like, bro, you going too far, dog. Don't cut his off, bro. Like, bro, for real. If he gonna be gay, let him be gay. But don't cut his off, bro.
And one of the loudest critics, none other than T.I., he went straight to Instagram telling Boosie to mind his business and stop worrying about another man's kids. That clapback planted the very first seed for this feud, but it didn't stop there. A couple months later, things got uglier when Boosie straight up called T.I. a snitch over his old federal gun case. In an interview, he basically said, if you cooperated, that means you're a rat. And of course, T.I. wasn't having it. He fired back, saying he'd never let anyone disrespect his name or his family, and he wasn't scared to go head-to-head with Boosie if that's what it came to. And then came round 3. By that summer, Boosie started criticizing T.I.'s parenting, specifically that infamous situation where T.I. admitted he once went with his daughter to the gynecologist to check on things. Boosie jumped in calling T.I. controlling and out of pocket, but T.I. clapped back even harder, basically saying Boosie was the last person on earth who should be giving parenting advice. From there, the tension just snowballed into a messy back and forth that never really cooled down. So now, with this tape scandal hanging over King, Boosie sliding in with his commentary feels less like casual trolling and more like the latest chapter in a long-running feud between him and T.I. By this point, the shots weren't just about music anymore. They were digging deep into family, street cred, and even throwing around snitch accusations.
The person who questioned my paperwork still the person who wanted the paperwork you showed me. What do we do then? What they say? What they say? It doesn't matter. All these questions are left for y'all to answer. I got black and white. Everything else is Googleable. And with that being said, last time I'm gonna address it.
They say he posted the paperwork saying that he did it. So that's the icing on the cake, man.
It was crystal clear this wasn't just rap beef, it was personal. For a short while, it looked like things might calm down. Both T.I. and Boosie hopped online saying they were moving on, that there was no real problem. But by 2023, the feud flared right back up. Boosie accused T.I. of not standing by him during his legal troubles, trying to paint him as fake. But T.I. clapped back, making it clear he was done babysitting and wasn't about to defend somebody who never missed a chance to disrespect him.
I am one of you niggas who have been to the penitentiary before, man. What happened when a motherfucker say somebody ain't right and they goddamn show their paperwork and they is right? What's the penalty for that? Can somebody tell me what is that punishable by? Somebody tell me that. See, most of you motherfuckers ain't never been in no trouble. Motherfuckers ain't never been nowhere. Anybody tell me? Tell me. It been 20 years, bro. It been 20 years. I figure if I wasn't built like that, it'll show by now. It been 20 years, bro. I done faced every challenge motherfucker that like to throw at me, man. You ain't seen me fold, you ain't seen me break down yet. Matter of fact, I come out smelling too good, the way you nigga think something wrong.
So fast forward to now, and it all makes sense. Boosie jumping into King's mess wasn't random at all. It wasn't just him being messy for clicks, it was a chance to jab T.I. exactly where it hurts most, through his son. And with King being the center of nonstop internet drama, you already know Boosie couldn't resist. As soon as that alleged tape started floating around, Boosie's comments lit the fire, and the internet wasted no time tearing King apart. Some of these comments were brutal. One person flat out wrote, "He was always weird looking to me. Too bad he took after Tiny and not T.I." And that hit hard because people have been clowning King's looks since he was a kid, always comparing him to his parents. But then the internet went even harsher. Someone dropped, "He looks like the clown that's always trying to kill Bart Simpson, Sideshow Bob." And once that comparison hit, it was over. Memes and side-by-side pictures started popping up everywhere, with people dragging King nonstop and turning his face into the latest internet joke. Once those memes started flying, things spiraled into a whole new level of ugly. The Sideshow Bob comparisons became a full-blown trend, and King couldn't even post on Instagram without somebody spamming clown emojis under his pictures. It stopped being about the tape or even the paternity questions. Suddenly, his entire image was on trial. And what made it worse, King wasn't staying quiet. Instead of ignoring the noise, he was jumping into comments, firing back at trolls, and even going live to confront people head on. But every time he clapped back, it only added more fuel. Viewers screen recorded his rants, reposted them, and twisted his words into fresh jokes. The more he tried to prove he wasn't bothered, the more obvious it became that he was. Meanwhile, blogs kept picking it up. Gossip sites started digging deeper into his lifestyle, pointing out how he constantly flexes cash on social media, flashes jewelry, and rides around in expensive cars, even though he doesn't have a solid career or business venture to back it up. Commenters accused him of living off T.I. and Tiny's money while pretending to be independent. One headline straight up called him rich kid in a gangster costume. And then came the whispers from Atlanta insiders, claims that King had been hanging around crews that weren't exactly safe for him, trying to gain credibility by association. People started speculating that this need to be respected in the streets was part of why he keeps landing in messy situations, from Waffle House fights to traffic stops. Fans were saying it felt less like rebellion and more like a cry for validation. At the same time, critics turned their eyes back on T.I. and Tiny. People questioned whether they were enabling his behavior by brushing it off as growing pains instead of holding him accountable. Old interviews resurfaced where T.I. admitted King was the most hard-headed of his kids, and fans used that as proof he'd been spiraling for years while everyone looked the other way. By now, King wasn't just battling internet trolls, he was caught in a storm where his reputation, his family name, and even his future were all being torn apart in real time. But the comment that truly sent this whole thing into overdrive was one that read, "King about to be queen." That line didn't just clown his looks or his behavior, it cut straight back to the years of whispers about his sexuality. And that's why this situation is way bigger than some so-called leak. It's exposing how people never really let go of those questions about King's identity, and now with Boosie stirring the pot, the whole thing has spiraled into a much deeper and messier conversation. What makes it even heavier is the fact that this isn't just about King anymore. It's about the legacy of his family name, the way T.I. is being dragged into the drama, and the old wounds between him and Boosie being ripped wide open. The bad blood never really cooled down, and right now King Harris is stuck right in the crossfire of a feud that feels like it's been brewing for years. The internet isn't just gossiping about one scandal. They're piecing together a storyline that questions King's image, T.I.'s parenting, and Boosie's motives all at once. And when you step back, you realize this mess is only going to get bigger because neither side looks like they're backing down anytime soon. So now I want to hear from you. What do you think? Is King really just being dragged unfairly, or is there truth buried in all these rumors? And do you think Boosie is genuinely concerned or just using this as his chance to embarrass T.I. one more time? Drop your thoughts down below in the comments. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, share this video, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next big update. Trust me, the story doesn't end here. Click the next video you see on your screen for even more shocking celebrity drama. I'll catch you over there.